starting lineup. In goal is Anthony Tarlo, number 4 Cecil Buru, number 5 Freddie Keeney, number 6 Matson Finney, number 8 the captain Henning Farrodo, number 10 Atana Farrodo, number 11 Joachim Wallay, 13 James Naka, 14 Moffat Khalifa, 22 Jose Snalo, and number 23 Monis Gagame. Your substitutions for Western United, reserve goalkeeper Nicholas Taliato, number 2 Alec Wickham, 3 George Kakai, number 7 Paul Wallay, number 9 Benjamin Fattori, 15 Brian Peter, 16 Gagame Fenny, and number 19 Lenson Basili. Your coach of the size is Commons Munape. The Malampa Revivors starting lineup. In goal is Nariel Mario, number 3 Ismail Sam, number 4 Greg Barney, 5 Donde Kaletia, number 8 the captain John Alec, number 10 Ismail Edward, 11 Andre Batik, number 12 Marcelin Piloy, number 16 Michael Uri, 17 Edwin Bay, and number 18 Pierre Malere. The substitutions for Malampa in reserve goalkeeper Jimmy Lukai, number 2 Anthony Mann, 6 Walla Jacob, number 9 Issa Jafet, number 13 Pedro West, 15 Reme Timas, and number 21 Samuel Wamele. And the head coach is Percy Abok. And the referee for today's game is Rakesh Chandra from Fiji. His first assistants, Avenish Narayam from Fiji. His number 2 assistant referee, Philippe Revel from Tahiti. And the 4th official is Nobai Hawata from Tahiti. And just a reminder that next Saturday is the last round in this group. At the 1 p.m. game, it's Lacey Dwellers versus Western United. And the 4 p.m. game, once again, is Auckland City versus Malampa Revivors.
I certainly can. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Cool. Just keep good information coming through and I'll dance to it. I'm also getting a lot of feedback from my own voice, through your microphone, I think. Yeah, I think so. Match day 2 of the OFC Champions League. It's Group C. It's Malampa Revivors up against Western United. I can still hear myself. Okay. The lineup for Western United, I can't hear myself now. Cool. It's a beautiful sunny day in the central part of South Auckland, and it's the OFC Champions League Group C. It's Malampa Revivors and Western United who are the two protagonists in the opening match of the second match day of this section, and they both have quite a lot to do. They were beaten on the first day. Western United only just. They fell to Auckland City by 2-1. Malampa Revivors, though, got a real sore test in their first ever OFC Champions League game. They were hammered in the end 5-2 by Ley City Dwellers. It's a must-win game for both teams, and I'm sure that we're in for another entertaining fixture between two sides that have a deep commitment to attacking football. I'm your commentator, Gordon Glenn Watson. It's my privilege and honour to describe the action for you today, and there's going to be plenty of it. Coming up at 4 o'clock local time, the defending champions Auckland City FC take on Papua New Guinea's Ley City Dwellers, and that is bound to be our feature match. So let's take a look at the team lineups. First of all, looking at Western United, a couple of names listed from the starting 11. Skipper Atana Ferodo has come in for Totori, and sure, if they need goals, Totori will be ready, willing and able to answer that SOS. As you can see there, the formation remains much the same as you saw in the opening game, 4-2-3-1 rather, with James Naka the spearhead of that attacking four. Malampa Revivors have decided to stick with the tried and trusted. The skipper, John Alec, had an impressive game, but it was a baptism of fire for the side from Vanuatu. They really did struggle to hold their concentration at times, and they'll be looking to get their first ever point in this competition. The front three do offer some attacking respite, though, for Malampa. Edwin Bai was very impressive as well down that right-hand side. Andre Batik also showed glimpses of his skill, but it's the back four where most of the question marks will linger. Pierre Malaire, Greg Barney, Ishmael Sam and Michael Huri have a lot to prove. So the two sets of substitutes are now out, and all that we are waiting for is the arrival of the two teams. I hear the referee's whistle blown, and their entrance into Centre Park Mangere is not too far away. There are a couple of that have been played in Group D, which is based in Pire and Tahiti. Marist Fire defeated Rewa by 4-2 on the weekend, and Ericor Golden Star of Vanuatu were beaten 4-2 by Tafana. So a difficult first up performance for Ericor Golden Star. Few surprises there, although that said, the way that Group D is panning out, Tafana and Maris 5 will meet on the 17th of March. That could be the game that decides the final position in the semi-finals. The draw for the semi-finals, which is home and away, takes place on Monday when the group stage concludes. And the fixtures for the last four are scheduled for the weekends of 8th of April and the 15th of April. The final, also home and away, 29th of April and the 6th of May. There's Benjamin Totori to the left of your picture. Understand that he has picked up a slight injury, but the fact that he's made it onto the team list suggests that Coach Commons Manapi has got him very firmly in his mind for what will unfold here this afternoon. Malampa Revivors can't be taken too easily, despite the result that went against them on match day one. the question for Western United, and one that Commons Manapi will have pondered over the last couple of days, will be just how he sets his team up, because Western United against Auckland City had a very disciplined tactical approach, and they were quite content to let Auckland City have the ball. It is quite a different task today against a Malampa Revivors team that tends to play on the cuff, off the cuff, and very much with the inspiration of the moment.
Ladies and gentlemen, would you please give a warm welcome to Western United and Malampa Revivors.
And whether or not Western United can maintain their standards and their tactical approach, I did speak to Commons Manapi before the game and Henry Ferrodo, and they were both determined to make sure that they built on top of a lot of the positive things that came out of the match with Auckland City. Of course, they didn't get the result they wanted, but they showed that Commons Manapi has a very shrewd tactical understanding of the game, and it's an aspect of football in this region that perhaps gets a bit of an unfair hard time from critics and observers. But as we saw at the OFC Nations Cup in 2016, that the tactical acumen of many of the teams within the Confederation has certainly improved from what it was even 10 years ago.
And ladies and gentlemen, for Western United in goal, Anthony Talo, number 4, Cecil Buru, number 5, Freddie Kinney, number 6.
So the pre-match handshake's taking place. Referee for this one hails from Fiji.
Number 11, Joachim Waroi, 13, James Naka, 14, Moffat Khalifa, 22, Jose Nawa, and number 23, Monis Kagame, and the coach of the side is Commons Manapi. The starting lineup for Malampa Revivors in goal, Royal Maliu, number 3, Ismail Sam.
The referee is Mr. Rakesh Chandra of Fiji, and the assistant referee, Avanesh Narayan, his compatriot. Philippe Ravel of Tahiti is the second assistant referee, and of course the very well-known and well-travelled Norbert Hoata of Tahiti is the fourth official.
And the coach of the side is Percy Evans.
If Malampa Revivors take the approach that they had in the opening game of playing off the cuff and in a very loose and fancy-free way, then expect the likes of James Naka to make a massive impression, and Henry Ferrodo as well. They're expert at picking out the space between lines and exploiting it, and they've got a lot of attacking know-how and pace to also bring to the table. Atana Ferrodo is a player that you want to keep an eye on as well, one of the young up-and-comers. Henry Ferrodo said that one of the other elements to come out of the game with Auckland City that they considered to be a success was just how they managed the weather conditions, and by that he meant not just the rain. There is a wind, as you can probably detect from the OFC, FIFA and FIFA Fair Play flags that fly on the halfway mark, that it blows from the scoreboard end of the ground on the right to left, and Ferrodo said that that made a big difference to the free kick that James Naka was able to score off a rebound off a post. And Ferrodo said that there had been a lot of chat in a technical sense about just how those conditions play into the game narrative. Speaking of the weather, it's a beautiful day here. The weekend just gone saw the postponement and transfer of football matches throughout Auckland. There are a number of grounds closed. There's no sign of a chance of rain today. What you see is fairly much what you're going to get, I think. Breeze blowing down the grounds, cloudless sky. And two teams that are desperate for their first points. I think Western United will look at this as a match where they simply must score a lot of goals. Their loss to Auckland came with minimal damage, but they'll need to score 3, 4, 5 maybe to make sure that if Leigh can defeat Auckland, that Western go into the final match day still with a chance of taking top spot. Malampa will just want to try and tighten up their lines, tighten up their performance and deliver a game that is just a little bit more tidy and polished than it was on match day 1. Easy header for Joachim Waroi. Now it's John Alec. Can't get the ball out of his feet. Early touch for Tana Ferodo. And Mofa Khalifa, I think, was looking for a free kick early on. Doesn't get it. Huri. By. And a handball. So a positive start by the Revivors. Ball given away. There's a gap now for the team from Vanuatu to try to exploit. They couldn't make the most of that. Both teams trying to settle into their work. Batek gives the ball away. Now Henry Ferodo. Joachim Waroi. Trying to play a ball just in behind the fullback. But it came up short. Now the ball picked off by Ishmael Edward. Back to the goalkeeper and it's out. And we'll restart with a throw in on the far side. Joseph Nawo to Atana Ferodo, to Henry Ferodo, the skipper, Naka. Oh, that's a very good ball. Flag has gone up. Barney looking to go long, I would say. Western United's back four drops off. Matson Fenny misses the header. Marcelin Piloy, he's beaten Fenny. Edwin Bai. Well, now that Malampa Revivors have got that first debut game in the Champions League out of their system, the desire will be to just try and make their passes link up. Well, they've been caught out here. Naka trying to send Moffat Khalifa clear. Atana Ferodo. Joseph Nawo. Very promising moment for Western United, but now they've got some defending to think about. Yeah. It's not the fastest counter-attack by any stretch. John Alec looking for the fullback to join in. That's something they have to be sure that they factor into how they go about their work, Malampa. They don't want to be too careful about trying to link up passes, particularly when a fast break's on, and they can try to bring out some of their more natural qualities. Atana Ferodo. Here's Henry Ferodo driving very, very directly at Malampa. Now the gap opens up here on the left-hand side. Freddie Kinney. He's got a corner. And that's just what Malampa are going to have to be careful of. If they start to play too narrowly, they allow themselves to be opened up on the flanks. And you can see just how quickly Atana Ferodo and Henry Ferodo combined to make sure that the transfer of possession from one side of the pitch to the other is done at pace, which is what Malampa weren't doing in their counter-attack. Naka. Oh dear, that's a very poor corner by James Naka's standards. Atana Ferodo in your picture, just making his first start of the competition. He came on as a substitute in game 1. John Alec. Oh, that was too casual from Malampa. Anthony Talo. Had a pretty good game, Anthony Talo, against Auckland City. He had quite a bit of work to do. He made telling saves from Ryan De Vries and Clayton Lewis. Flag stays down. That ball is not going to trouble Talo. Highly distinctive hairdo. But it's his goalkeeping prowess that really catches the eye. Of course, another footballer who has made an impression in futsal, scoring a winner against Guatemala in the group stage a couple of years ago for his country. Here's Naka. Another corner and an opportunity to get the lines right this time, taken early. Malampa aren't aware of it. They're only just awakening to the quickly taken set piece now. Atana Ferodo. There's a shot from Henry Ferodo. Kinney. Oh, that's a nice ball. The flag stayed down. There's 3 in the penalty area for Western. And it's broken kindly for Western. They're still queuing up there. There's Ferodo's shots. And high and wide. Well, Western United have started the game the better of the two teams. They've created a couple of opportunities. Nothing to concern Nariul Maliu and the Malampa goal. Here's Naka. Oh, and he spots Maliu just off his line and thought he might try and have a go from considerable distance. Naka's got a really good track record of scoring from that position in the park, so you can understand why he took it. Have a look here. Just too far to the left of Maliu to really trouble him. Naka scored an absolutely tremendous goal in the 2014 edition of the OFC Champions League at Churchill Park in Fiji against Waitakere United. He hit a superb chip over the top of Danny Robinson, and it was a goal that effectively sent Waitakere tumbling out of the contest at the group stage. Naka also managed to score a goal against Waitakere in the 2008 Champions League final first leg in Honiara. Got plenty of X factor about his game, even as he enters a veteran status. Offside flag was raised pretty quickly by Philippe Ravel there. Cecil Buru. Freddie Kinney. Tremendous patience being shown by Western as they probe for an opening. Making Malampa work across the pitch, trying to open up passing lanes. Here's Atana Ferodo, and oh, it was so close for James Naka, who was just lurking off the left shoulder of the centre half, Greg Bunny. Now Talo's off his line. And, well, it's an awkward bounce, and Nariul Maliu watched it all the way into his gloves. Huri given away. That's the second time he's done that. Moffat Khalifa. Well, that was a risky challenge. That was a very risky challenge. And Malampa were lucky to get away with it. Well, they're still not out of a problem here. Here's Khalifa again. John Alec trying to shut down the danger. There's players queuing up in the shape of Henry Ferodo. Naka shows. Moffat Khalifa shows. Now Atana Ferodo. What Western need to do here is recycle the ball quickly and try and dislodge this Malampa defence, which so far has held up fairly well. There's been no real clear-cut chances created by Western yet. Here's Naka. Batik for Piloi. And this is the problem that Malampa seem to have. It's how do they go about breaking out of defence swiftly and accurately? The way that Western have set themselves up in a similar fashion to the first game against Auckland City is to be patient off the ball and to press the ball at the correct time, not just at any old time. Everything that Western United do without the ball seems to be measured very, very carefully. Complete contrast to the opening game where Lay and Malampa seemed to just press the ball all over the park. The number of turnovers in possession must have been in double figures within the first 5 minutes. It was a frenetic, frantic and reckless start by both teams, and that was reflected somewhat in the final score. 7 goals scored all up. Well, here's a free kick in a very interesting position for Western, and this will interest Ferodo again because of the success that he had against Zubi Karai, the Auckland City goalkeeper, from a distance that's a good 10 yards closer than it was on Saturday. That breeze is still blowing behind the kicker, with a fairly helpful degree of knots here. Naka's not interested in taking it, so Ferodo, I think, is going to do the honours here for the Solomon Islanders. Nariul Maliu's not the tallest of goalkeepers too, so he's opted to have a 4-man wall. What they'll need to be careful of is, of course, a second phase ball. Here's Ferodo. Standing over the wall. He went left on Saturday. Oh, and he went the same side again. It stayed low. Maliu had watched it all the way. He didn't think enough of it to even make a move to shape for a save. He didn't have to. Finney's ball. That's a good overlapping run. Early cross is picked off by John Alec. And this is where Malampa get themselves into all sorts of bother. How do they play out? That's the key thing. And you look at Henry Ferodo pressing. He knows now's the time. And Malampa are shooting themselves in the foot here. That's a good cross. And Ferodo's header. Great save. Wonderful save. That was a superb piece of goalkeeping. It was a wonderful cross. And the execution of the header was marvellous. First real clear-cut chance of the game. Goodness me, what a save that was. Waroi. Buru. Kinney. Oh, that's a great ball by Kinney. James Naka. And Malampa survive again. It's the work of the goalkeeper, Nariul Maliu, that keeps the scores level. James Naka warming to the task. It was a wonderful ball over the top. The centre halves got caught out. Naka went for the gentle application of technique over power, and the goalkeeper got something on it. Well, another poor corner, another wasted opportunity. So while Western are taking all the plaudits for their shape and the way that they're trying to create chances, their set-piece work so far has been below average. What a save that was. That was a moment that had goal written all over it. Kinney. Buru. Well, he's dug that out, but straight to Michael Hoodie. Ishmael Edwards, and it's come up for Western. And they've just rushed it again, Western. Atana Ferodo guilty of rushing the final ball. Now the press. Oh, and the goalkeeper nearly caught out. That's going to bear a lot of fruit for Western United, I think. Well-timed presses against Malampa side that don't seem to be comfortable on the ball, playing out from the back, yet they seem to be trying to do that for the most part. Perhaps a reflection on their ability to play that way in the domestic competition. I was talking to the Auckland City coach, Ramon Tribulic, a couple of days ago, and he mentioned that there's a massive step up between the Sterling Sports Premiership in New Zealand and the OFC Champions League. And one of those key steps that is much higher than in the domestic competition is just how quickly teams are able to press. Look at this press here from Henry Ferodo. And Malampa just really struggling each time. There's 3 there on the ball now for the team in orange, and you can see they've got a result out of that. They're able to now play from a much higher position inside their opponent's half. Kinney's throw, Ferodo. Joachim Waroy. Matson Fenny. Malampa, of course, look as though they're fairly comfortable to allow the Western United centre halves and deep-lying midfielder to have time on the ball in their own third. Wallace Gargamy. Matson Fenny. Oh, a complete miscue, and James Naka was just lingering over the back shoulder. Here comes that Western United press again. And a result again. Well, Coach Percy Avick has arrived in the country for Malampa. He was absent on the first day. As I understand it, there was a shortage of passport books in Port Vila, which meant that the processing of visas and travel documentation was held up. Avick's in the dugout now, and I just wonder if he's pondering a different approach by his team to perhaps maybe go a bit more direct instead of trying to play out through midfield. It is causing them a lot of issues at the moment. Here they are now through John Alec. He's got no targets. They're all running away from him. Now an opportunity maybe presenting itself. Here's Edwin Bai. We haven't seen too much of him. Alec again. Ishmael Edward. And he's looking for a run forward. You could see that he was looking to just slip a pass in between Matson Fenny and Joachim Waroy. Maliu. Oh, he's given it straight to Ferodo. Checks onto the right foot. Oh, that's a lovely pass. Mofa Khalifa, and no mean effort. Very comfortable save by Nuriel Maliu. Wonderful slip ball from the skipper, but Mofa Khalifa really didn't get any purchase on the strike. Michael Hurdy. Oh, that's a nice combination play there. Joachim Waroy is the full stop in that sentence. Kinney. Ferodo, now 34 years of age. That's a lovely ball into Atana Ferodo. Buri. Waroi. Nawo. Naka. Oh, promising move, and Naka's pass is well timed if they can get the cut back. There was two players. Atana Ferodo was one, and Moffat Khalifa was the other, just waiting for the cutback to arrive, and it never came. John Halleck, I think, played for that, but well done. Bunny. Well, that was a tight ball to give Michael Hurdy. He's done quite well there to keep possession ticking over for this team that play in predominantly all sky blue kit. I think this is the furthest up the pitch that Malampa have ventured in the first 22 minutes of this game. Oh, and here's an unexpected half chance for the Revivors and a corner to go with it. I wouldn't say that they've been on the ropes for the opening part of this match, but they certainly haven't had too many visits to the Western United penalty area. It'd be very timely if they were able to get a goal from this corner, which they were unable to do. Now the ball played forward, looking for Atana Ferodo. And they've got a free kick. They might want to take this quickly. Naka. Joseph Nawo. James Naka with a strike. And it's wide of the mark again. Well, it's a free kick to Malampa Revivors. One of the features of the game against Leigh City Dwellers was just how often the front three in each team were content to try and just linger on the shoulder of opposition defences and hope for that raking long ball over the top. You'd have to describe that as one of the strengths of the Revivors. And, oh, just needed to get his head up. There was Edwin Bai to his right, waiting for a quality cross of some type to try and exploit. This is a good spell for the Revivors. And decent defensive work by Buru. There's a danger here that Western United might just start to get concerned that they haven't scored yet. There's a strike. Oh, and now they have scored. It's Joseph Nawo with a fine strike. And Western United are 1 goal to the good. Just as they might have been concerned that they weren't creating too much or taking advantage of the chances they were getting, Joseph Nawo slams the ball home, and it's Western United 1, Malampa Revivors 0. Well, that should settle down Commons Manapi's team. And for Malampa, there is a big question mark hanging over their heads. Can they recover? That's a good pass. And there's that straight ball to a straight run and a free kick to go with it. Edwin Bai bundled to the ground by Greg Barney. Cecil Buru, rather. So he's getting a talking to from the referee, Rakesh Chandra. Pretty handy position for Malampa. John Alec winds in the free kick. He's going to be disappointed with the delivery. Needed a bit more height. He's gone to the near post again, picked off again. Alec. Well, there's a bit more spring in Malampa's step, which is ironic, given they've just gone a goal down. They seem to be going through the motions for the first 20 minutes, and now that they're a goal down, they've suddenly found a burst of energy, and they've got a free kick there, and I think they're a bit fortunate to get that. Freddie Kinney was a player in possession. Might pick something up in a replay, maybe. Kinney, it was a poor touch by Kinney, in truth. Here's Alec with a free kick. Again, he can't beat the first player. That's 3 times now. I think if he wants to hit that near post target, he's going to have to calibrate his thinking along the lines of aiming for the far post. And if he gets a little bit short there, then at least he's compensated for the distance. Talo. Cecil Buru. Henry Ferroto's dropped an awful long way into his own penalty box. But Western United are going to feel pretty comfortable. They're good on the ball. A lot of these players have played international football, and the national team has a degree of experience playing possession football under pressure from the back. And you can see there Talo picking out Freddie Kinney. Oh, that was a tight ball. And Revivors have won it back. Well, Malampa Revivors have done a superb job to reach the OFC Champions League. Oh, and that's a heavy challenge. Undoubtedly a free kick. Henry Ferroto certainly felt that. Look at this. He's won the ball, speeding away, and double teamed. Well, that's better defending from Michael Huri. He's read the pass very well there and attacked the ball aggressively and made Freddie Kinney think twice. In fact, Freddie Kinney's had a bit of a hurry up in the last couple of phases of play. The left back for Western. Here he is again. Pops the ball over the top. Atana Ferroto's away. Oh, he's missed it though. Certainly missing Benjamin Tatori. It should really go without saying that any team that is shorn of the services of an ex-pro and top international striker is going to be a lot less value, and that's certainly been the case so far this afternoon. And Malampa Revivors, it's now 2 against 3. Can they get a shot away? Well, they can, but it's taken a deflection, and that's just been typical of Malampa Revivors in this game so far. They don't tend to break very quickly, and You can see that Western just have another yard of speed and pace of thought. Malampa's education in OFC Champions League football continues. Half an hour gone. Western United 1, Malampa Revivors 0. Almost halfway through the group stage for these teams. Commons Manapi's side will be happy with the Joses Nawo goal that gives them this cushioned 1-0 lead. Kinney. Given away by Mollis Kagami. Huri tries to run with the ball. Dondi Keltier has picked it up, then lost it. I think Percy Avick would like to see Edwin Bai get on the ball a lot more than he has. He was a real attacking threat against Lay City Dwellers, and this afternoon he has only appeared in maybe 2 moves that Malampa have tried to hatch, and he's got a lot more to give. I'm sure that Percy Avick and the technical team within the Revivors setup will be trying to get that message across to Edwin Bai and his teammates in the next 20 minutes or so. Huru. Through the legs of Kinney. Andre Batik can't get the better of Kinney. Still going, Freddie Kinney. Well, he was looking for a free kick there. He might have been entitled to it. Buru. Warroy. Matson Fenny surveys his options. Robbed by Edwin Bai. Clip back inside and Bai keeps his run going. Batik is free in the penalty area. He's just taken up a position behind Freddie Kinney. Helped on. Batik. There's a shot and blocked. It was a good shot too. Huri. Malampa Revivors trying to find a way through this orange wall that Western United have built on the edge of the penalty area. I'll tell you what, Greg Barney's fortunate to get away with that, because it looked as though for all money he was going to lose possession. He just didn't have any options. There's very few options in terms of shape off the ball for Malampa. It's something that they'll have to think about over the next hour or so in this game. They just need more options on the ball. The ball carrier is not getting a lot of them. That's a decent cross. Kinney hoists it clear. Malampa have 5 players forward of the referee there. Edwin Bai. John Alec. John Alec's ball didn't give Michael Huri too many chances there to keep it in. Mollis Kagami. Warroy. Western United firmly in control of this tie. I spoke earlier about their need to win this game and win it well. They certainly don't need to score all their goals in the first half, although Commons Manapi would probably not have too many complaints were that to be the case. Western United's opportunities to add to the goal tally may well come in the second half, when they've had an opportunity to sit down with their coach and just talk about how they go about cracking this Malampa side. I think there's chances out there. Waroi. Fenny, he spots Henry Ferrodo ahead of him. Twisting and turning Henry Ferrodo. And he's got a corner. Well, James Naka really needs to step up to the plate here. He's had a couple of goes at throwing balls into the box. He's had one go short and then go out for a goal kick. Just not good enough from a player who has entertained and charmed us throughout the years in various forms of football, futsal and beach soccer. Oh, he's played it safe this time. Fenny, Moffat Khalifa. Oh, and that's a dreadful shot. There were three players to his right and he chose to shoot, and he's getting a few funny looks from teammates, and I don't blame them. Oh, and here's Khalifa, chance to make up for his earlier error. And Ishmael Sam nearly put it in the back of his own net. Any defender will tell you that it's the type of situation that they most hate to be in. Khalifa's ball was decent. There wasn't too much pressure on Ishmael Sam, at least any that he could see, but he had to play it safe. And of course, the ball can end up anywhere. Fortunately for Sam and Malampa, it's ended up as only a corner and nothing more damaging than that. Khalifa's corner, cleared. Fenny. And all day, every day for Nuriel Maliu. In terms of the goalkeeping work required to stop that. Well, I don't think Western United are going to be very happy with the standard of performance that they've delivered so far. They turned in a polished performance against Auckland City, but here today, it's been a case of perhaps the bar dropping to match the standard of opponent, with all due respect to Malampa as the competition's, one of the competition's newcomers. Batik. Oh, a chance! Off the bar! Dear me. That had to be put in the back of the net. You can't miss chances like that. Anthony Talo is having a good long look at his defenders. Marcelin Peloi did ever so well to get on the end of this cross by Batik. Look at the run. Where was the marking? But the strike was poor. It was so poor. It needed to be blasted past Talo with confidence. You know, there was so much room available to Peloi there. He might even have taken a touch and then had a shot. I wonder if that's going to come back to haunt Percy Avak and his team. At the golden chance, and that was a scenario that was slowly building, and when it came to the boil, Malampa were just unable to handle it. And Western have been let off the hook. There's a goal scorer, Joseph Nawo. Well, that's the problem when you are struggling to see a lot of the ball in an attacking area. If you miss your one chance, you may not get another. Football can be very cruel in that regard, and Malampa is certainly finding that out. Alec. Keltia dispossessed by Henry Ferrodo. He's looking for a run ahead of him. Needed more, Henry Ferrodo, in terms of options, and now Malampa break. Can they get another opportunity? That's a good run forward by Andre Batik. There's a shot. Good save by Anthony Talo. Very good save by the Western United goalkeeper. Malampa starting to make sure that Anthony Talo's getting a fair degree of work now. Wonderful ball by Edwin Bai. The marking wasn't tight enough from Waroi and Anthony Talo. That was a good save. It's a corner. Confidence growing for the team in sky blue. Oh, that's a good touch by Naka. Moffat Khalifa couldn't get a hold of the ball. Ishmael Sam. John Alec. Malampa will feel now that they've got a firmer foothold in this one. Naka. Oh, that's a good run. Chance for Nawo. Chance for Moffat Khalifa. Good save. Khalifa with a follow-up. Malampa survive. Well, now the chances coming with rich regularity at both ends of the pitch. Well, Moffat Khalifa with an opportunity to double the lead, and he's denied by some very good goalkeeping. Intelligent ball this from Joseph Nawo. Moffat Khalifa hit it first time, but it was at a decent height for the goalkeeper. He would have enjoyed that. As we see a substitution, Benjamin Tatori is coming on for Atana Ferodo. So, Commons Manapi has seen enough.
He has been replaced by number 9.
And he wants his second goal that he may feel will put Western United in a bit more of a comfortable position. They've missed some very good chances. They've been poor in some of the wide areas and set pieces, and Malampa have just started to open up one or two opportunities for themselves and really are quite unlucky not to be level. In fact, that substitution is a testimony to Malampa Revivors' resilience, because while I've been enthusiastic to describe them as competition newcomers and maybe short on experience, they've certainly done enough in this first half to make Commons Manapi change his approach. John Alec, and that's not a great ball. It's picked off by Matt Finney. Now for Henry Ferodo. Oh, and that's a tight ball, and Marcel Mpeloi's picked up possession for the Revivors. Western starting to get a little bit nervous, a little bit shaky with some of their decision making on the ball. Ferodo. Tatori. Fenny, Gagami. Oh, and Andre Batik's picked it up. That was Ferodo who had the last touch. He might fancy a shot from here. Slips the pass through. Talo taking a good long look at it. And again, Dondi Kalatea just unable to get a shot away. It's not his key strength, I must admit. He took up a very good position, though. Batik's corner. It's away by Ferodo. It'll be a retake. Well, good news here for Malampa is that the captain is in the penalty area. But again, they're struggling with the delivery. I think with the height that they've got in their team, that they should be getting far more quality in the delivery and finishing from set plays. Barney for Alec. Edwin Bai. That's nice work by Kinney. That's not so good, though. There's a free player at the far post if John Alec can spot him. Ferodo, Tatori. Now Tatori's got some pace to show. Well, he does like to drift in on his right foot. I don't think that's any secret. And Michael Hurdy has done a pretty good job of making sure that Tatori was contained. Keltier dispossessed by Ferodo, but it's a free kick. He's claiming he got the ball, but it's always an awkward one if you're going from behind. That gives the referee a pretty straightforward call to make. You can see here that Keltier offloads the pass, and, well, Ferodo did get the ball, but if you take into account Rakesh Chandra's position, he would have seen that very differently. Understandable decision by the referee, even though it maybe wasn't the right one. And Malampa Revivors are going to look to exploit it. Decent ball in, the header's weak, very weak header. Well, we've had a minute and 20 seconds of additional time. I can't imagine there'll be too much more of it to factor in. And Rakesh Chandra, the referee, has agreed and brings the first half to a close. It's been some pretty tepid stuff, in truth. It's Western United who lead by a goal to nil, but compared with their performance against Auckland City on match day 1, it's been somewhat flatter. Joseph Nawo was the goal scorer who set the Solomon Islanders aside from their Vanuatu counterparts. But Malampa Revivors came back into the match very strongly towards the end of this first half, creating a couple of chances, one which hit the crossbar that really should have ended up in the back of Anthony Talo's net, and the second forced the aforementioned goalkeeper to pull off a quite brilliant save from Andre Batic. Half-time at Centre Park in Mangere, it's Western United 1, Malampa Revivors 0. Yep. Yep. Welcome back to Centre Park in Mangere. It's half-time in the OFC Champions League Group C clash between Western United and Malampa Revivors. Western lead by 1-0, but it's been a very tricky afternoon for them. They have dominated this match, but their shooting boots have been left behind in the dressing room at times. They've been wasteful in front of goal, and the goalkeeper there, you can see, pulling off a wonderful save from Henry Ferroto's header. And he's been a central feature for the Revivors, the side from Vanuatu. But I get the feeling that Western United just haven't quite managed to bring the game to the same level as they did against Auckland City, where they played with such a lot of discipline and organisation. That was a fine strike by Joseph Nawo. That is the goal that separates the two teams. He just put his right foot straight through it. Maybe the goalkeeper, Nariel Maliu, could have done better there, but he did get a glove on it, and it was at a decent height for the goalkeeper. But Malampa Revivors were doing just enough to stay within touch of Western. They created 2 or 3 chances to get back into the game, and it was this one that really needed to end up in the back of the net. It struck the crossbar, and then Anthony Taylor pulled off this wonderful save from Andre Batik. There was a substitution just before half-time that saw Benjamin Tatori join the fray. Moffat Khalifa slammed that shot straight into Nariel Maliu. And that is the state of play in this game. It's 1-0 to Western United over Malampa Revivors. And Western United have just failed to close the door on this game. They've really struggled to find that second goal, and that's why Tatori got thrown in just towards the end there. But on another day, Malampa may well have found themselves 2-1 up. So this game very much alive. One team struggling to find their ruthless level of efficiency, and the other battling gamely on in their first ever OFC Champions League campaign. Joachim Waroi, Cecil Buru, Freddie Kinney, Khalifa, John Alec. Edwin Bai's first touch was a bit heavy. Don't forget that later this afternoon you can catch the second game of today's doubleheader. It's Auckland City against Leigh City Dwellers at 4 o'clock. Waroi. Oh, he's lost the ball here to Edwin Bai, who's going to keep going, and a chance for Bai. Oh, and it was Ferroto who blocked the shot from Edwin Bai, and he's looking on with consternation at his defenders. Edwin Bai just rolled straight through. The Western defence just opened up completely here. Lovely little shift onto the right foot, and the shot blocked by Ferroto. Corner for Malampa. you know, you just wouldn't put it against Malampa Revivors to pinch a goal here. And I wonder what Western United's reaction would be like. They're certainly not at the races. Not yet anyway. There's John Alex header. Another corner. So belief among the Malampa players will be growing. Certainly used Alex height to great effect there, and that's been all too rare in the game and a half we've seen of this team in this tournament. There's a shot, and the volley straight into the arms of the goalkeeper by Ishmael Sam. He got the technique absolutely spot on there. Here's Sam again. Maliu. Warroy given a hurry up by Batik. This is Matson Fenny. Henry Ferrodo. Fenny again. Tatori just trying to play on the verge of offside. Away to the left of Freddie Kinney. Warroy. James Naka. We haven't seen too much of him in this game. Moffat Khalifa. Tatori's offside. John Alec. Nawo. Fenny. Ferrodo. Naka, well, he turned into trouble there. Gargami Fenny. Khalifa gets a lucky roll of the ball to go by Huri. Well, that's the right idea, but the execution of the pass was overcooked. Benjamin Tatori's fast, but he's not that fast. Pierre Malea. Ferrodo, it's picked up the mistake. Nawo. Had Tatori making a darting run just in behind the centre halves. He couldn't get the ball out of his feet quick enough to find him. Well, the first 5 minutes of the second half have certainly boded well for Malampa. They've kept their head. They've grown into the task at hand and not allowed themselves to be pushed around or bullied, and they've defended on the whole a lot better than they did against Ley in the first match. Oh, and here's a chance that's going to open up here for Malampa. Pilloy. Alec. Edwin Bai. Well, every time he gets the ball, you expect something to happen. Here's Andre Batik. Still Batik. Well, dear me, that's just gone straight up in the air. He's got a chance here, though. Oh, it's a penalty. Malampa Revivors have a penalty. Well, the danger was always going to be that Western United have not closed the game off, and now they paid for it. And it's a yellow card as well. You can see here that the challenge was from behind. And referee Rakesh Chandra has had no other choice but to award the spot kick. And it's an important spot kick for not only Malampa but for Vanuatu football. They found themselves on the outer in FIFA World Cup qualifying. They had a poor OFC Nations Cup. But a new shoot has sprung forth in Malampa Revivors, an area called Golden Star. It's John Alec. Scores! And Malampa are level. And deservedly so.
And Malampa level scores through number 8, John Alec.
Absolutely no chance of stopping this. Anthony Talo. And a game that Western United were looking to emerge from victorious and keep their OFC Champions League semi-final hopes alive is now looking to be a much more difficult task. They just haven't been able to bring the same standard of performance to this game as their first, and Malampa, as you've been able to no doubt tell for yourself, have grown immensely in the last 45 minutes from that opening day trauma at Ley City. Here's another opportunity, and Malampa are really now starting to boss this game. Heads have gone down in orange shirts, that's for sure. If Malampa were to go ahead, it really would come as very little of a surprise. The number of chances that they've created now is almost gaining parity with Western. I think it sits at roughly 5 apiece. Well, a draw for these two teams would do very little in terms of helping their cause. If Auckland City and Ley City Dwellers were to draw, they would both go to 4 points and leave Malampa and Western sitting in 3rd and 4th position with just a point, and Malampa having to play Auckland City and Ley facing Western. The shape of the group really will take a more concrete form after the second match, and that's going to be a difficult one to pick. Auckland City beat Ley 2-1 last season, and this was a Ley City team that conceded around about 4 or 5 goals a game. Yet they were still able to lift the performance to a level that made Auckland really sweat for the points. Waroi. Cecil Buru under pressure. Back to Talo. He's gone long. To Tory. John Alec, the goal scorer, getting the ball away. Henry Ferrodo. Well, Ferrodo was looking for a free kick. I thought he had a case there. If the penalty was awarded for a tackle from behind, that was certainly a very similar situation. Play continues though, and it has worked out in Western's favour somewhat. Here's Tatori. There's a shot, and it's over the bar. Just showing a bit of pace there, Benjamin Tatori, but not quite the accuracy. Well, this game could go either way, but there is a easily identifiable growth of confidence happening for Malampa. Starting to risk the ball and coming away with it, and on each occasion the body language is just showing increased level of enthusiasm as we see a card about to be produced for James Naka, and he's saying, look, I've been watching you and this is the third time and I can't let you get away with that. That's good refereeing. You can see there that Naka just takes a sly kick with the left foot, and Rakesh Chandra was well on top of that. That's good to see. Coming up to the hour mark, Western United 1, Malampa Revivors 1. Game 3 of Group C in the OFC Champions League. Fantastic to have you with us for this live coverage, wherever you are in the Pacific or around the world. Oh, lovely turn by Ferodo. Really skillful stuff from the Solomon skipper, but follows it up with a pretty poor shot. Just an indication that Western United are starting to lose their way in this game, where players like Ferodo and Naka, one going into the book, another trying to maybe do too much on the ball. Nawo, Naka. Oh, lovely touch by Edwin Bai. Marcel Mpiloi. Well, it's Malampa Revivors who are starting to look more like the experienced OFC Champions League unit. Kalatea. Greg Barney, it's not a great touch. Ishmael Sam. Oh, this is good football from Malampa Revivors. Oh, and they're in trouble. You can see here that Joachim Warroy just got a bit sloppy with the back pass, and well, Western United have got the free kick, but it should have gone the other way, my opinion. It's pretty clear from that Cecil Puru went through the back of his opponent, and somehow that's been given the wrong way, but match officials are only human, as are commentators, footballers and coaches. Substitution coming up for Western United. Play has restarted, so we're going to have to wait for that substitution. The final pass from Western United has deteriorated to such an extent that the body language of the front three players has transformed from bubbling excitement to slumped shoulders, and a few heads have dropped, and they can ill afford to do that because it could end up costing them the game. Now it's James Naka who comes off, and Gagami Feni who comes on. That's a major call by Commons Manapi. He's decided that he can't risk finishing the game with just 10 men, and he's taken a look at Naka's contribution over the course of the 90 minutes and decided that it's not been of enough value to keep him on. Quite often the criticism of players who do bring an X factor to a game, just how they fit into an overall team pattern, and just whether or not you persist with keeping them on the pitch or even starting them in your starting 11, depending on just what mood they're in and what they contribute to the overall pattern of play. James Naka's one of these players who can score goals out of nowhere or lay chances on for others at points in the game narrative where the pressure is really on. But if he's not doing it for you, then it's a question of whether or not they become a liability, and you have to go to the bench and find a player who's got maybe more industry than creativity to try and find that additional value. Oh, that's a good ball. Now Tatori, here's a player with some creativity, and the shot from the substitute, Gargami Feni, was on target, but fairly soft. Edwin Bai. Oh, that's a lovely exchange of passes between Bai and Batik. Nawo. Feni. Oh, that's a lovely pass to find Moffat Khalifa. Gargami Feni's in the box. There's a cross to the far post. There's nobody there in an orange shirt. Nawo picks it up. Danger's still not over. Oh, the goalkeeper gets a glove on it, and he had to. Moffat Khalifa was lurking just in behind, looking for any sort of mistake by Nariel Maliu, and now play swings to the other end. Talo. Well, Ishmael Sams kept everybody on side there. He wasn't watching the line as that ball came in to the final third, and he ended up keeping Gargami Feni and Joseph Nawo on side, and Nariel Maliu was forced to come out and head the ball clear. Gargami Feni, oh, that's lovely. He's away from Ishmael Sam. Oh, that's a corner. Well, Gargami Feni's really added some attacking impetus since he's come on. Looking a bit sharper and more hungry for opportunities in front of goal. Tatori takes the corner quickly. Matson Feni. Tatori. Malampa pushed high to halfway. So there's 4 forward for Western United. Just waiting for that pass over the top. Andre Batik. Ishmael Edward. Batik still going. Well, things really are going against Western, aren't they? They started off with such high hopes of dominating this game, but they've never really found their stride. It's Malampa that has grown in stature as the match has worn on. Now, John Aleck's going to take this free kick. It's certainly within striking distance with the wind behind. Buru. Chichimwaroi. launches the ball long. Ferrotto gives the ball away in an awkward position for his team. They're funneling back to try and defend. And that's what you don't get here, is a lot of time on the ball. Although Rakesh Chandra got a couple of seconds there, the referee. There's a high, awkward ball for Jochen Warroy to deal with. Well, this game has just become very reminiscent of the first half of the Leigh City match with Malampa Revivors. It's turning into a version of street football. Players are just giving the ball away over and over, and any discernible pattern of a match has been lost. And you get the feeling that the team that makes the least mistakes here in the final 20 or so minutes is going to be the one that picks up the points. I have to say, it looks as though Malampa might just be the most likely of the two. A long ball launched forward. It's dealt with. Moffat Khalifa can mop up. He's got Tatori to his right. Here's Tatori looking to take a run on goal. Wallace Gargamy for Henry Ferrotto. Now Joseph Nawe. There's a run forward by Gargamy Fenny. Gargamy Fenny still. Tatori. He's just looking for a half a yard of space that isn't available. This match is swinging end to end. And it's a corner. Corner goes to the near post, headed away by Ferrotto to Tatori. Joseph Nawo. Oh, and the flag's gone up. I tell you what, that's not a great shout by the assistant referee, because there was a player, Michael Hurdy, on the far side, the right back, who had kept everybody on. That was a big call. A very, very big call. John Alec. Nawo picks out to Tori. Now Moffat Khalifa, and he's miscued his shot altogether. Well, let's have a look here. You can see the player at the... I tell you what, Philippe Ravel has got that spot on. First impressions from the commentary position was that he was well wrong, but well done, Philippe Ravel. Oh, that's lovely. Andre Batic is sent clear after Marcelin Peloy's little back heel. Well, unfortunately, this game's just starting to break up. Substitution for Malampa as well. So Percy Avic is going to throw Essie Yafford into the fray, and it's Andre Batic, the goal scorer, who's coming off.
Malampa Revivors number 11, Andre Batic, is replaced by number 9, S.A. Scummins.
Well, that's a big call by Percy Avic. Tatori. Oh, and that's an interesting attempted cross and plucked out of the air by Maliu. His throw's not particularly helpful to his team's cause. It's picked off by Ferodo. Khalifa. Oh, that's an interesting ball. Straight over the top. It seems to be the order of the day. Oh, it's a penalty. The second penalty of the match, and this time it goes in favour of Western. Referee Rakesh Chandra took a very long look at this. It was a long ball over the top. You can see it's shoulder to shoulder there between the two players, Greg Barney and Gagami Fenny, and there was no hesitation from the referee to point to the spot. So Henry Ferodo is going to step up to the penalty mark and accept the responsibility. Western United desperately need these points. Malampa Revivors only 20 minutes or less away from their first ever point in an OFC Champions League competition. Ferodo, the old stager, who's been there, done that, and seen it all. Oh, and the goalkeeper got his hands to it, but he couldn't keep it out. And Western go 2-1 up. And it's Henry Ferodo, the skipper. 75 minutes. Well, he hit it at a height that the goalkeeper would have fancied, and Nariel Mali, who's had a pretty good day, did get the gloves on the ball, but he couldn't stop the power of Ferodo's shot, and now the advantage swings back to the Solomon Islanders. They lead Malampa by 2-1, and Malampa will consider themselves very unlucky to be trailing. They've just got to be careful that they don't take their eyes off the ball, lose concentration, and a second quick goal. That really would put paid to their hopes of getting anything out of this game, you would think. Nawo twisting and turning in the attacking third. Commons Manapa yelling from the technical area to Gagame Fenny to provide some width. And there he is, Fenny, listening to his coach, finds a space here on the right-hand side. Malampa just panicking at the moment, trying to rediscover their foothold in the game that they worked so hard to get back. That goal's really shaken this game up, and it's restored a degree of dominance by Western. Although Moffat Khalifa is struggling on the left-hand side, I wonder if Commons Manapi will look to rectify that from the bench. Indeed he is. It is Moffat Khalifa who comes off, and Paul Wale who comes on. That completes the substitutions for Western United, but ironically,
Mangere has been replaced by number 7, Paul.
while that substitution is almost processed, there's a player down. I think it's Cecil Buru. Manapi's having a good long look at this, because if Buru's unable to continue and Manapi's asking the fourth official to just slow down that substitution. Moffat Khalifa's got his hands on his hips. He's still on the field of play, and the uncertainty lingers. You can see from the replay what happened. It looks like it's cramp. So Cecil Buru is off the park for now. Western are temporarily down to 10 players. Commons Manapi's going to have a bit of a rethink about what goes on from here. And Malampa are also going to have to think very carefully, because if this goal settles Western United down and they decide that they feel more comfortable keeping possession and not forcing play, then Malampa are going to have to come out and try and win possession back. And if they don't do that in an organised fashion, and Tatori can seal it for Western. Oh, good save by the goalkeeper. Very good goalkeeping by Noel Maliu. That was a absolutely gilt-edged chance, and Tatori failed to take it, but the goalkeeper takes all the plaudits. Danger not over. Gagami Feni is stopped by Ishmael Sam. Well, I think that would have been game over if Tatori had to slap that into the back of the net. Taken short. Feni to Tatori. Long range shot, takes a deflection. Sometimes wonder if Benjamin Tatori just tries a little bit too hard sometimes. Ishmael Edward for John Alec. Oh, he's given that straight to Henry Ferrodo. His intended target was Essie Yaffet, the substitute, but Ferrodo appeared from behind him to snaffle possession. Banny wins the ball for his skipper Edward. Alec, John Alec. Well, if Western United do pick up victory here with this margin of 2-1, they will sit in third place on 3 points. Ishmael Sam, John Alec, well, substitution has been made. Cecil Buru has come off. The central defender, he's been replaced by Paul Wale. We'll just try and pick out who's dropped into centre half. I think it's Joses Nawo, in fact. who's gone from striker to centre half, and Gagami Feni trying to find a way past Malampa, Paul Wale. And it's another penalty. Would you believe it? And there's no major reaction from Malampa Revivors. It's a yellow card for Greg Barney as well. It was all pretty low-key here. Gagami Feni gets into the box, spots Paul Wale. Now look at this. He's just chipped it up, and he's been clipped there. I think it may have even come off a hand. And now Benjamin... No, that's not Benjamin Tatori. It's going to be Paul Wale, the substitute. He's only had one touch of the ball. And this to give Western United a 2-goal cushion and a 3-1 lead. Wale, oh, and it's saved by Nariel Maliu. The goalkeeper pumps his fist and takes the plaudits from his teammates, but Wale with just a second touch of the ball. And Malampa still in this game. Well, it's just been that type of day for Western United, but what a day it's been for Nariel Maliu. He's conceded 2 goals, but he's also pulled off a number of timely and important saves for his club that has found the going a bit tough at times. Paul Wale didn't look too confident stepping up to the ball, and it was a clue that had some big meaning behind it, because once he did strike the ball, it was at a height that the goalkeeper would have been absolutely adoring. And we saw what happened when Ferodo's penalty was at the similar height, that Maliu's quite good at getting himself into position to stop those types. Both left and right of the goal. Here he is again. 5 minutes to go. Western United 2, Malampa Revivors 1. Wale. Gagami Feni, Mollis Gagami. Now Paul Wale. Gagami Feni looking for support. It arrives in the shape of Wale. Waroi Tanawo. Too many big players for Western United haven't really delivered their best game today. Benjamin Tatori's been a bit flat. James Naka was a bit flat too. And there just hasn't been enough ruthlessness from the team in all orange. We've still got a 2-1 advantage here. They'll want to make sure that it finishes that way. Fenu's looked very exciting since coming on. Ball wound into the box. It's pushed away from the waiting Tatori. Mollis Gagami, Ferodo, Tatori. And a free kick for Western United. About 35 metres out from Nariel Maliu's goal. Ferodo clips it over the wall. was looking for Joe Chimwaro. You could see what he was trying to do, but there were just too many players in the box. There was not enough of a gap. That sort of set piece tends to work a lot better from wider areas where you see congregating defenders a lot further away from the ball. And that space is available to run into for the player that's either standing behind the wall or running past it. John Alec. Oh, and Talo had to be short. That's the last we will see of Dondi Caltier. He's off and replaced by Pedro Vies.
Substitution for Malampa Revivors number 5, Hunting Caltier, replaced by number 13, Pedro Vies.
Just under 2 minutes of the normal 90 to go. And it's looking increasingly like Western United have done just enough. And Malampa really haven't created too many chances in the second half. And they've given up a pretty poor penalty, really. 2, in fact. And then Western were only able to score 1 of those through Ferodo. The penalty taken by Paul Wale was saved by Nariel Maliu. But all it takes is just one moment of madness at the back, and Malampa might well be back in it. We've seen a couple of strange pieces of defending today. Here's Ferodo against Pedro Vies. Moffat Khalifa looking for space. Gargami Feni. Oh, and he lets the ball roll under his foot. I think the pitch did most of the groundwork for that. That's well kept in. Tatori. There's a shot and it's safe, but the rebound only as far as Gargami Feni. Chance! Straight at the goalkeeper, who rides his luck yet again. Malampa still in this game. But time is running out. Less than 30 seconds of the 90 to go. There will be additional time added, I think, minimum of 2 minutes.
Additional added on time of 2 minutes. 2 minutes added on time.
So a bit of work for Western United yet to do. They should be well clear of Malampa, but they've conspired against themselves, really, to waste chances left, right and centre, literally. The scoreline won't flatter Malampa. I think they've done enough to deserve their luck today, but really Western will have a few questions that they may want to ask of themselves after turning in a pretty disciplined performance in the first match. They've rather lost their way and a little bit of ruthlessness. Oh, Moffat Khalifa's made a good run. If he can get the ball into Tatori, he's unmarked. It's a corner. Well, delivery was just a bit too slow. And you can see Moffat Khalifa, he's not happy with himself. He screwed his nose up. Universal language for I wish I'd done that a bit better. This may well be the last attack for Malampa. A last chance to perhaps find an equaliser and a first ever point in the OFC Champions League. They'll have to get the ball forward quickly. Oh, and here's maybe a chance. Has that ball got too much on it? Indeed it does. I think Percy Avic's going to be pretty happy, not with the final result here, but aspects of the Malampa Revivors' performance. They've been beaten by 2-1 by Western United. It was a game that perhaps Western United will reflect upon with some degree of disappointment that they were unable to keep their standards high compared to the first game that they played in this group, but they've come through with 3 points. Henry Ferreiro and Joseph Nawo were the goal scorers. Paul Wale could have made it 3-1, but saw his second half penalty saved by Nariel Maliu. There was a penalty at the other end of the pitch when Andre Bartik scored just after the restart, and that appeared to swing the momentum towards the Vanuatu club, but in the end, Western have done just enough to prevail by 2-1, get their first points, their first victory of the competition this season, and they will have to wait and see what Leigh City Dwellers and Auckland City FC produce. Let's look back on the highlights of the second half. Edwin Bai got on the end of this opportunity. Lovely little cutback with the outside of the right boot. The shot was blocked by Henry Ferreiro. Then this corner, a lovely volley with the left foot by Ishmael Sam. He kept the technique foremost in his mind, and Anthony Taylor had to make the save. Then Andre Bartik cuts this ball back. There was panic in the penalty area for Western, and then crunch. It was Cecil Buru who gave away the penalty, and Andre Bartik dispatched the ball with aplomb to make it 1-1. And Benjamin Tatori could really have put the nail in the coffin, but he had a couple of chances. That was one of them. And the former Golden Boot winner was just unable to get on the score sheet. There was another penalty awarded, and that was when Greg Barney, well, he could have given 2 penalties here, Rakesh Chandra. That was a lovely take by Henry Ferreiro. It was a great attempt by Nariel Maliu to try and stop it. It was at a good height for him, but there was too much power. And then Tatori, you really back Tatori every single time there. 1-on-1, he has to score. Maliu then pulled off a great save. Paul Wale had only been on the pitch. This is his first touch in the game, and he got a penalty for it. It was difficult to see from that angle whether or not it was because he was clipped. His second touch in the game, well, that wasn't a very good one, was it? Nariel Maliu pulled off a great save from the penalty. And it was all Western United. That shot from Benjamin Tatori, and then Gagami Feni really swung at that ball like he had paper in his boot, not a foot. So, final score here, Western United 2, Malampa Revivors 1. And we're just now waiting for the post-match interviews with the respective coaches. Features the defending champions Auckland City FC against Papua New Guinea side Leigh City Dwellers.
Is somebody able to hear me on the mic? Very good. Good. Everybody's good? Yeah.
Let me know when you're ready.
Welcome back, everyone. It's time for a post-match interview with the head of delegation of Malampa Revivors. It's Stephen Varigali.
Stephen, another very tough battle out there for Malampa. What did you think of the overall performance of the team?
I'm really happy to see what we've done today. We've done a good thing, but the only thing we missed is luck for finishing. That's what we can say, but we are really happy for this game.
And what did you think of Western United's performance today?
Very strong, and they are, most of them play in most international games, but we really try our best as a new team. We really try our best.
Only one match left against competition favourites Auckland City. How are you feeling heading into that match?
We are really happy to play that match between our champion club, and we will enjoy our game when we play them.
Will you take a different approach to the past two games as you take on the champions?
Yeah, we prepare because our coach will be arrived soon, and we really we think we may put a good game. Yeah.
Thank you so much for your time, Stephen.
Thank you.
So there's an element of disappointment there for Stephen Varigali and Malampa Revivors, but no doubt they'll have learned from the experience and will look to improve upon that in Game 3. Now we can join OFC TV, who have the head coach of Western United, former Solomon Islands International Waitakere United player, Commons Manapi.
Commons, great battle out there today to finally get 3 points and get a lead on the table. How are you feeling about the performance of your team today?
Very happy about the performance of the boys today, especially we got 3 points today. Yeah, and happy with the boys, the way we played today. Yeah.
Obviously, Malampa proved dangerous at times with their equaliser. What did you think of their performance today?
Yes, I think Malampa, they give us a good game today. Yeah, I think they improved from their last games, from the last game against Lake City. And was very happy about the result today. The boys went out there, gave our 10% effort.
And only one match left against Lake City Dwellers, and it could be a decider. How are you feeling heading into that match?
I think everybody's are looking forward for the last game. And the last game, we are going to go out there and give our best, try to win our last game. That's our last focus of the tournament.
Is there any key things you're going to work on ahead of that next match?
Yes, I think by looking at the game today, we create a lot of changes, scoring changes. So we have to go back in the training field and try to work on that.
Thank you so much for your time, Commons.
Thank you.
That's a pretty fair assessment by Commons Manapi about having to improve on the number of chances that they have spurned today. They've won though 2-1, and the next match for us is Auckland City FC against Leigh City Dwellers at 4 p.m. Join us then. I'm Gordon Watson. It's been fun and more fun to come.